What is up everybody, my name's Tyler Potter and welcome back to another video. In this video we're going to be doing some actual functional stuff. We're going to be working with arrays of objects and then sorting that array of object by name. So I can sort it by name. Actually it's gone Wonder Woman, The Flash, Superman, Nightwing. This is actually in descending order. If we click it again it goes to ascending order, so from A to C or C to A. We also have sort by meta, so I've kind of created like meta stuff which is like the suit color. And as you can see, we can sort by the name of the suit color. So silver, red and yellow, red and blue, green, gold, blue, black, and blue and black. And also age. As you can see here, we've got it in descending age. If we click it again, we get it in ascending age. And that is kind of what we're going to be working on today. So let's move this over to the side. Let's align this up with this. Oh, hello. Come on, let's go. There we go. And let's create 3 files. So the first file we want to create is index.html. So as you can see here, we've got a basic HTML file and I'm going to use emit, which is a part of VS Code, by pressing !tab to create boilerplate code. If I continue on here, you can see we've got the boilerplate code. You don't need to worry about this. You should already know this if you're already onto JavaScript. In the title, we're going to name this object sorting. And in the body, we're going to have literally a header. In the header, we're going to have a H1, which says object sorting, and if you guys have watched my other videos you will know that this is the same structure I create for every single page. I create a simple header with simple H1 in it, section in here, so we're going to create a new section called sort options, and these are going to be the buttons at the top. So these buttons at the top here, and in there we're going to create a button times by, well, with a class of sort times by 3. And if we go back here, we're going to say sort hyphen name. Hello. Oh, what happened there? Let's also zoom this one for you. Sort hyphen name. And in here, we're going to say sort by name. We're going to go over here and say sort hyphen meta. And we're going to say sort by meta. Sort hyphen age. And it's going to be sort by age. There we go, so that's part of a markup. We now need the actual list, so we're going to say section.list hyphen headers. So this is going to be our list headers, and we're going to say dot header hyphen title, and it's just going to be name. We'll duplicate this, and I'm going to go into name and change it to suit color, and this bit here is going to be meta, and duplicate one more time, and this one is going to be age, and it's going to be header age. We're then going to create one final section and give this the class of list. So this is going to be our actual list. We don't need to do anything in there. That's all we need to do. So this is our markup. We need to add in a link up here to a style sheet. So we're going to say link, and we're going to say main.css, because we're not worrying about folder structure right now. This is simply just a how to sort some object arrays. In the bottom here, we're going to create a script source, and it's going to be called main.js. So we're going to pull through this script. So let's create these files. First off, let's create main.css, and then let's straight away create main.js. Nice. So in the main CSS, we're going to create some reset files. I do this reset file use, and I'm going to say margin 0 because nobody likes margin by default. I want to add it myself. Come on, guys. We don't want padding either. And also the savior of all layouts, box sizing. So box sizing, border box, makes it so your padding doesn't push out your container width. Instead, it insets the padding and pushes the content inwards, which makes it a lot easier to calculate widths and stuff. Let's create font family, and I'm going to use Roboto. It's installed on my machine, so I'm not going to pull it through by Google Fonts or anything because it's installed on my machine, and I'm only using this for making it not a serif font and not an Arial or a Helvetica. Background's going to just be, this should be a background color. Sorry, I don't like using the longhand when I'm doing a shorthand syntax. That makes sense? I don't know if that makes sense. We're going to write here header, and we give this a width of 100 VW and a height of 60 pixels. We're then going to set the background color to a dark gray, basically black. Might as well just say black, but it's dark gray. I need to have a sip of drink juice there. G Fuel, whatever you want to call it. And let's say header H1. And we'll give this a color of F3, F3, 3 because it's a really subtle grey, very subtle, like it pretty much is white. I'm going to give size 28 pixels, font weight of 900 pixels, and a line height of the same as the header height, which is 60 pixels. Let's also give this a text aligned center and a text decoration of, text transform of uppercase. That's transform again. Wrong. Transform. If you wonder why I separate my stuff here, it's because I like to keep it clean. I like to make sure things which relate to each other are split up so it's easier to read. Obviously I minify this in production so it doesn't cause any issues. Let's now target our main, and we're going to say list hyphen, well actually no, we need to style the options first. So we want to say main dot, what was it, sort options I think it is? Sort options, that is the one. So we're going to say main, and we say dot sort hyphen options button. We're going to give this a flex. Oh wait, why would I want button? I ain't even done the sort options yet. Let's say display flex, everybody's favorite. Justify content space between. Give it a width of 100%. A max width though of 480 pixels because I don't want it spanning too much. And then a margin of 30 pixels auto. So 30 pixels top and bottom, and we're going to push it to the center. We're then going to say main.sort options button, and we'll give this a flex of 100%. Maybe not 100%, maybe what? 33%? I think that makes sense. That's basis. I don't know, actually, I'm not even sure if I'm doing that right. Background color is going to be FFCE00, which is my favorite color, yellow. Border, none. Outline, none. Padding of 15 pixels and a margin of 0 pixels, 8 pixels. So just so you know, I'm doing all of this. I'm also going to give the border radius of 8 pixels. Sorry, I'm doing this because I'm going through this really quickly because I want to show you the styling because some people like to see it, but at the same time I want to get through it quickly. You should probably skip further ahead if you want to see, if you want me to start directly on the, what's the face you call it, on the JavaScript, that's what I was saying. And on the button we also want cursor pointer, although it's a button so it have cursor pointer anyway I believe. And now before we continue, I need to see what I'm doing because I'm not sure if this is even going to work. So in here, I'm going to type live-surfer dot, which is going to open me up a surfer. That's an NPM package called live surfer. And as you can see, this is what we've got so far. So we've got these 3 buttons, and we have this little name, suit color, and age. Nice, so that's pretty much there. Let's quickly, actually, I was going to do a hover state for this button, but we don't need to do it, do we? So under here, we need to now basically style our list headers. So say main.list-headers, we'll display flex, justify content space between. We'll give it, so actually, tell you what, we're actually going to use this code right here. Oh, just because that's literally what we're going to write here, but we want to set 0. We want to say 0 pixels there because yeah, we want it to be touching the actual list. Padding of 0 pixels, 15 pixels. Font weight we're going to say 700, and then text transform uppercase. Save. There we go. Now they're in position. So I think that's fine, right? It looks fine. Let's now style our list. So we're going to say main.list, and it's going to be display block. Width 100%, max width 480 pixels, margin 0 auto. So this is going to send it. I could have added a container around this. Well, I could have just centered my main instead of doing width 100%, max width 480 on everything, but flaws are made, and this is why we do this, so we can learn from our mistakes. And now we're going to have a list item. Let's actually create a list item. So in here, I want to say .list-item. And then inside that list item, I want a item title, test1, an item-meta, and a Is it a what else is there? Age. No, I don't think we need to, well, we do need to do it. So it'll be item hyphen age, and then he'll say 24. Well, actually, we'll do my age, 21. There we go. So the data's there. So now let's go style it up. So list item will be display flex. It's actually going to be the exact same as this, I believe. But margin will be 15 pixels, 0 pixels. Padding will be 15 pixels all around. This doesn't need a max width. Border of 1 pixel, solid 313131, probably 171717. And then border radius 8 pixels. Save. There we go. So now it's kind of there, right? That looks fine. That's good enough for styling. Let's remove this actual list item now, because we're going to be creating this. We're going to be creating this dynamically in JavaScript. I think that's all the styling we need. Good. So let's go over to the JavaScript. First thing I always like to do, I like to console log something just to see if it's working. Test this there. Nice. Let's actually dock this to the bottom for now, just so we can see it. And let's remove that. Now, the first thing we want to get from our DOM, so we need to pull out this list. We need to get this list. So we're going to reference it in JavaScript. So we're going to say the document.query selector, and we're going to get the list. I'm then going to say const sort name button, const, or, oh, that's annoying. Sort meta button, sort age button. Can I set these equal to document.query selector dot sort options dot sort age? I'm actually going to do this different. I'm going to do this as const because it's going to really annoy me else. And this one's going to be document.query selector dot sort hyphen options dot sort hyphen name. This one will be document. I've messed that one up. Document.query selector dot sort options. Can you guess what this one's going to be? Yeah, you guessed it. It's sort hyphen meta. Oh, that if I can even type. So confident with that one as well. Okay, so the first things we've done here is we've got our list item up here. We've now got our reference to our bottom. So if I, just for reference, if I console.log list, hit save, you'll see it referenced the list section up there, which we created in our DOM. Just if you guys weren't clear on that. Now, we're going to need a list of items, right? So we need to create a list of people, and I'm doing it superhero themed DC because I don't know, I should have done Marvel, it's the bigger one. So yeah, I've pasted in this list items, which is going to have Batman, who's meta, which is his suit color, which is black, age 57, because that's roughly how old he would be right now, I think, I'm just guessing, and all this. So these are just a few small people. So the first things we need to do after doing that is we need to create a function which will display the list, right? So we need to create a function called display list. So we'll say function display list, and it's going to take in an array which will have a backup of an empty array. And we're going to say list dot inner HTML is equal to nothing. So we're going to get this list up here, and we're going to make sure nothing is inside of it. We're clearing out. It's in a HTML so we can add new things. This means every time we re-render the page, or if we sort like by name, sort by meta, it will clear the list for us so we don't have to keep manually doing it. It won't add it to the bottom. We're going to do a for loop. It's going to be a basic for loop which is going to check the, oh my god, if I can even type, that doesn't make sense. Array.length. So we're saying if I is equal to, when I is equal to 0, I is less than the array's length, I++. The simple for loop. We'll say let item equal to array item I, which is its index number, and we're going to say let. So now we need to basically construct the each item. And in here we're going to say item element is equal to document.create element, and we're going to say diff. Oh, so I need to say let item element. And then I'm going to say item element dot class list dot add, and this one's going to be called list item. We're then going to say, no, we're not going to append it. I was about to append that to the list, but we need to do everything else first. We now want to get the title, which is going to be document.create element, create tree walk. I don't even know what that is. Title.class list dot add item hyphen title. Yep. Item title, and we're going to say title dot inner text is equal to item dot name. So if you remember, we're now getting the item array, which is this item we're going to pass through. It's not in pass through yet, but we're going to get an item. We're going to get the list. We're going to set it to none, and then we're going to loop through. And so far, we've gone to the title. We've created a new title element, and we're setting the content, the text inside of this diff to be the item name, which will be this in one of the cases. Now, once we've done that, we're going to say item element dot append child, and we're going to say title. Now, if we wanted to, we can now do that. We can literally quick to check it's working. We can say list dot append child, and we're going to say item element. Hit save. Nothing's going to happen, but we're going to go down here and say display list, and we're going to pass through our list items. Hit save, and as you can see, it's added in every single person with their names. So again, this is just displaying. We need to do this so we can actually see what we're doing. So let's quickly set up the rest. So we're going to say document dot create element, and we're going to say diff meta dot class list dot add, and I'm going to say item hyphen meta dot inner text. That's the inner HTML. Inner text is equal to item dot meta. Now let's duplicate this because we need to say item element dot append child, and we're going to say meta. Now down here where we've got meta, we're going to rename this to it's age, isn't it? Age. We're going to say, oh god, age, change both of those at the same time, and age there. Okay, nice. That's looking right, I think. Yes. And we also want to get this again and say age. Hit save. And there you go. Now we've got every single thing here, although it's slightly off. That doesn't make sense. I think I need to flex one of these two. Yeah, let's do that quickly. So let's say main.list item diff env child 1, and copy this, put that env child 2, and say flex 1. Save. There we go. That's kind of there. Well, that's fine as long as it's kind of there. It's all that matters. Again, that's all we need for that. So we've got our list. Now we need to create some function, or not functions. We need to set up some event listeners for our buttons up here. So we've got sort name button. So let's go down here and say sort name button dot add event listener. And we're going to say click clock. That's not an event listener. Come on, Tyler. And we're going to use an arrow function because it's just quicker. And I'm just going to say in here, let array, so this is going to be our array, equal sort array by, and we're going to pass in our list items name, so that's the value you want to modify, and we're going to say disk, which that stands for descending, which we actually need to set up. So up the top here, before this, we need to say let this desk equal false, because that what we're saying that means descending or ascending. We're also going to say let click equal false, just so we know whether to flip the descending. So in here we're going to say if click descending is equal to true, click is equal to false, or click is equal to not click. Maybe. Does that make any sense? I don't know. Maybe we should do this afterwards. So if we just go here, back there, we remove that, and we pull that back, and I go display list and we're going to pass through that array, which we're going to get back from this function we create. Sorry, it's equal to not desc, and this is equal to not. Wait, we don't even need click then. Oh, look at that, I've shortened my own code. Right, so in this, sorry, let me explain why I just done this. So we've created a descending value, but every time we click a button, we need to call array, sort array by, list items, name, desk. And that stands for a descending. But then once we've displayed it, we also want to flip the feature so that's true. So it is displaying as descending for the next click, if that makes sense. Just so every time we click, it flips the button round. So let's create this function now. So down or above the display, we'll say function sort array by, and this is going to take in an array, a sort option, and if it's descending. So we're going to say array.sort. So this is actually a function built into arrays, and we're going to say function A and B. So these are the two functions we'll compare, or the two things we're going to be comparing. So we just want to say if A with sort, so this is going to get the sort file. So if we put name, it's actually going to be the same as doing this. So we're going to say if sort is less than B sort, return -1. We're going to duplicate this and flip this round, and then just say return 1. And then we're going to return 0 if none of those values here return true. So basically, we're checking to see if this returns, so if A is smaller than B, in the sense of if it, whatever the sort is, we're going to return -1, which means it will go, A will go behind B in the array, if that makes sense. Oh God, that's confusing. It's a hard thing to understand, but you know. So we're going to say if descending array.refers. So now this is where that descending comes in. So when we pass through descending, if it's equal to true, so if we are descending, then we're going to say array.refers. And that means it's going to flip it round, so it's descending, so the array is the opposite way. And that's as easy as it is. And then at the bottom here, we're going to return the array. So if we refresh here, and we click sort by name, and we click it the other way, so you can see we've got Batman, Cyborg, Green Arrow, Nightwing, Superman, The Flash, and Wonder Woman, which is correct. If we flip it, it's Wonder Woman, The Flash, Superman. It's literally just the opposite way around. Now we need to set these other two buttons, and as you can tell, they're going to be super easy. We're just going to duplicate this piece of code here. I know I could just create a function to do this with one piece of code. We could just check the button and then have a data value on it or something. But don't judge me, all right? And this one's going to be age. So here we're going to sort by age. Here we're going to sort by meta. And I think that's it. Hit save. If we refresh, I click sort by meta. You can see it sorts like that. Now it's still, if I sort by age, it sorts by age. If we flip it, it sorts the other way around. Apparently sort by age and sort by... Oh, I thought it was the same. It wasn't the same. But that is how you sort arrays of objects in JavaScript. Now, this was quite simple, but I tried to go over everything as best as possible. So if you did learn something new, then drop a thumbs up on the video, guys. If you want to see more simple videos with the basics on my channel, then let me know, because there's more. We can do a lot more simpler things. We can go down right to the basics and learn things step by step, so you can actually understand everything we do in the more advanced videos. Other than that, guys, I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, leave a thumbs up. If you want to see more, then hit that subscribe button. And if you want to be the first person on the scene to get that first comment in, the first like in, and to support me, hit that notification bell so you know as soon as the video goes up. And lastly, guys, if you have any questions, drop it in the comment section below. I'm happy to answer it. If you want to get more, if you want me to be more responsive, then jump over to my Discord channel and join us there, because there's a lot of cool people there. It's a bit inactive at the minute, so I'm going to go and chat to them all now and get all hyped up again. So thanks for watching the video, guys, and peace out.
Always do it on my own, so I gotta get through it. And the only thing I know is to love what I'm doing. Never give up, never slow, till I finally prove it. Never listen to the no's, I just wanna keep moving. Keep my head up when I act, head up, that's a fact. never looking back. I'ma keep myself on track, keep my head up, staying strong, always moving on. Feel I don't belong, tell my thoughts to move along, push myself to be